so in the Vedas, so let me compare the Vedas to today's simple thing, the mobile phone technology.
Okay.
So to make it more tangible and make it more interesting. So the Rig Veda is an invocation on various gods and goddesses, and mostly gods, male gods. This is calling upon gods, and the mother of all gods.
Mostly male gods.
Yes, but the mother of all gods and goddesses is called Aditi, the Devi Shakti.
Okay.
Right? So she's called Aditi, the mother of all gods and goddesses, right? So I wondered about that. Were these people basically just people who actually invoke these gods? Like, were they actually downloading the powers of those gods within themselves? For example, if you have a mobile phone today and you want to download WhatsApp, or you want to download Facebook, or you want to download Instagram or Snapchat or Gmail, there's no Vedas. So I'm giving an analogy here. Imagine yourself to be a mobile phone with the capacity of you having a button, right, within yourself, that you can download intelligence from the universe around you into you.
Well, you can take in the world, you can take in the universe.
Yes. No, but I'm talking about here a downloadable fashion.
Okay.
So I'm talking about,
so not in a figurative sense, but in an actual
literal sense, that
take in the world, take in the universe, download the universe. Electronically.
Yes, download the intelligence or the consciousness of the universe, right? So there's an intelligence which is running in the plants where we are sitting here around.
And download the information of the world.
Download the information.
So then become a Google.
No, not Google.
Okay.
But Google is not intelligence. Google is data.
Google is information, data.
Data and algorithm running on top of the data.
And data needs to be
curated, right? But this is something else. Google is not an artificially intelligent machine. It doesn't talk to you the way I'm speaking to you and you're speaking to me. It doesn't respond back that way.
Google wants to become one.
Google wants to become that in the future.
They want to drive our cars.
Right. So what we do is, in our technologies, we look for the evolution of Microsoft 7, Microsoft 8. We look for upgradations. If you often see a phone, it says, it wants to update itself.
I have such an old phone, it doesn't want to do anything.
Right,
it wants to go and bury itself in the ground.
Right. Okay. So, but most of the phones, they would just switch off and say, updates are available, so we want to evolve more. Okay. Right. So now for the human being, if you say an update is available, if you're like a phone and you want to download intelligence, like in the movie Matrix, right? Which is, you see, why the movie Matrix, first of all, was a worldwide hit? Because something within them, within the audiences, most of the people never understood the Matrix, by the way. And yet it was a worldwide hit, right? So if you ask people what is the Matrix, they'll be mostly confused about what they answer, right? Yet it made huge amount of money, right? One of the most successful movies of all times, right?
How old is it now?
Must be a couple of years, maybe I'm not right with the dates, but maybe 8-9 years, maybe.
So a generation back, because the
generation
is 6 to 8 years now.
Yes.
It's not the way it used to be.
Yes. So that long back, right? And they gave this vision that intelligence was downloadable within you, right? So when I was very young, I looked at the Rig Veda, I looked at all the spiritual people and the books they wrote and things which they wrote. So I just thought, but Rig Veda was very interesting because every time the mantras were being repeated, and they called upon these Indra Dev, this Vayu Dev, all these gods, as if to download powers within them for certain applications, right? Okay. So I felt that, isn't this analogy very close to the mobile phone, the way you download a function, a skill set?
So you invoke a god in the sense that in the same way as you download an app.
You download an app. Okay. So I'm here comparing the human.
That's the first time ever analogy.
Yes. So nobody's ever given this analogy so far, that you are like a mobile phone app, app downloader. You're like a phone with a SIM card, right? A SIM card. We'll get to the SIM card later, but first we are talking about the app here. So you're like a app downloader, right? So once the mantra starts repeating itself, you start downloading intelligence within you.
That's why I'm a failed app downloader, because I've never downloaded an app in my life,
right?
And I don't wish to be updated either.
Right,
so
right.
I'm out of it. I'm out of the picture.
Right, but aren't you interested in self-learning or evolution?
That's something that's been happening for a long time, and it's threatening to get to the point where it's overdone.
Right.
So actually, I want to sort of move back in time.
No. So you want to move to silence.
Back in information.
No.
I've got an information overload.
No. So here I'm not talking about information. I'm talking about silence comes in. Deep, endless, infinite silence comes in with this process, right? Because silence comes in, that's why intelligence comes in. So if you notice, when you're the most silent, that's when the most intelligent you are.
Yes.
So if you go for a long walk in the park and your breathing is really deep, you inhale and exhale in a very deep manner. Versus when you're in fearful situations, the breathing is very shallow, right? So when you go for a long walk in a farm, the farm where we're shooting right now, right? So if you go for a long walk and you have deep breathing for a while, your mind becomes more clarified. So in silence, so this world is an age of speed, but the opposite of speed is silence. So in silence,
opposite of speed is silence.
In a certain sense, stillness.
No, I'm just trying to figure that one out. Yeah. Okay.
So the opposite of speed, the world is in speed today. You have Instagram, you have Snapchat, everything is so instant messenger.
Except for me, I'm not instant.
Yeah, so yes, because you're not using that kind of a phone right now.
No, I take time to boot up. My mind takes time to take in thought, take in a notion.
But if you look at the world at large, it's working.
It's taking things in very quickly.
So it's first, Instagram is something like a 1-minute video, right? Snapchat is like 15 seconds or 20 seconds, something like that. You take a picture and you just snap it to your friend and the picture disappears, right?
So it disappears after that?
Some are kept in the stories, but some disappear, right? Okay. So basically the world is moving where they want to squeeze time so that's so instant that everything is just moving, spinning faster.
And the world doesn't want to keep memories. That means if you want to let that picture go, you don't want to keep memories.
No, some memories they want to keep because they also have a function called My Stories, for example.
Do people really archive all the data on their mobile phones? Or after a while it just goes and they move to a new instrument and they don't
No, so they have both the things together. They have the archiving process to it, and they also have the process of basically just making it instant so it disappears. So it becomes interesting.
Everybody's just living for the moment and they're not wanting to plan ahead or look back in time.
So the world is forcing, if you imagine the world to be a car, so first, if 1,000 years back we were running at 5 miles per hour, you know, the world was slow, there were villages, there was no technology, there was absolutely just, you know, bullock carts and horses, right? From horses we went to horsepower, which is the cars. From the cars now we want to go to electronic cars and speedy cars, right? So the world is moving. We never had the mobile phone. So we had an immobile phone, which is the old phone which we had. Today everything is mobile. The word mobile, the word smart, a smartphone, a smart TV, a smart television. So the world is giving a key word to you.
But are we smart? Are we smarter?
No. They're trying to make artificially intelligent machines, right? But what I'm saying is we as human beings
become dumber.
Dumber, right? We are not. So the technology is evolving faster at great speed. And our minds are not catching up even to the technology.
Our minds can't, because we're making too many decisions. This day and age, we are making about 20 to 30 decisions a minute.
Correct.
I hate making decisions. But every social media that you're on and every connection that you have, human, electronic or otherwise, is forcing you to make binary decisions for the most part.
Right.
And non-binary decisions. And that's very stressful on the mind. I mean, I'm sure our minds, our frontal lobes are aging much faster than they used to.
Because of the speed.
The speed at which you're having to make decisions,
good,
bad or ugly, binary or otherwise, is aging us.
Right. So now imagine a process of the mind where this decision making, right? So you can't stop the speed of the world. But if your mind is completely silent and it's not chaotic, it's completely quiet, in that silence you get an insight. Now insight is very different from thinking, right? Thinking is an effortful activity. So if you realize most of the geniuses, and if you see most of the scientists when they speak about when they got that great equation or when they got the script for a great movie, their mind is quiet and silent. And in the quiet moments, in the most silent moments of our life, right, we get the best ideas.
Yeah, that's true.
So if you look at
when you're not able to sleep.
No, when you're silent, when you can relax and be so silent that thoughts are not effortful. It's not an effort which you're applying.
Why I work late at night.
Yes, so it's just a spontaneity which happens. So like you spontaneously breathe, right? So I want with that download of that intelligence, thought to be so spontaneously falling into you like beautiful rain, right, of intuition and insight, that there's no effort in thinking. You see, there's stress of thinking because there's effort in thinking.
So what you're meaning is take away the binary decision making requirement of social media and the immediacy of the electronic world around us.
Correct.
And take away the dumbing down that electronics have forced us to do.
Yes.
And do a dumbing up. I mean, an intelligence creation.
Yes, the evolving of your own intelligence.
And evolution of your personal intelligence. So use electronics and the electronic world to not
over-dominate you.
Over-dominate us and bring our power down, but actually help us take it.
Right.